Ready? All right. Good to be back home this week. We've talked a lot every week about the excitement, the crowds, and playing at home. I think the coolest thing was last week. You're starting to see that happen on the road. You're starting to see to have the band there and the cheerleaders, band, the amount of fans we had in the game last week. That was again really special for the team, for the players to be able to see the support and know people are supporting them and are behind them. And to be back home this week, homecoming this week, which as an alum is a special thing. I guess I'm always at home, you'd say. Don't need to come back, but that's homecoming, all that stuff. That's for the fans. It has nothing to do with the football game. Has nothing to do with the team we play, the game we're going to play. It's another opportunity for us to go out and compete against a really good opponent. Then we're excited to go. So we've got a lot of work to do between now and then. But I'll answer a bunch of questions in between.
Kelly.
In the second half of the Duke game, your defense was a little more aggressive. Blake was bringing some pressure. Do you feel like maybe that gave the guys a little more confidence and got them going defensively in the second half, being more aggressive?
I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think it just has to do with execution. We talk about the four things we believe in: of the toughness, the discipline, commitment, and execution. And three of them, I think we are doing a great job of. And just execution comes with confidence. It comes with confidence, and I think we did a much better job against the run last week, which was a huge factor in the game. I think Blake did a really good job of making some adjustments. And look, I don't believe in waiting until halftime to make adjustments. Halftime is when you see if they worked or not, and if you're going to continue on and start tweaking those things. But adjustments have to happen right away when you see the plan they've come out with. And I thought the D-line did a really good job of resetting the line of scrimmage, and that's what we've been challenging those guys to do for several weeks now. Play with pad level, to get to extend, to be able to play the blocks, get off blocks, and it really showed in helping the ability to stop the run and made some plays when we needed to.
Coach, highest ranking for this program since 2009. You had said after the game, these guys have a choice to listen to the outside noise or to focus on the message from you and the staff. How do you balance not getting, telling the players not to get carried away with what's said, but also embracing a lot of the optimism and excitement from the fan base and here on campus?
I walked into the team meeting Sunday night and I told them, hey guys, congrats, enjoy, appreciate it. Because if you can't appreciate success, what's really the motivation to continue to do what you do? If there's no reward. We get it. The reward comes at the end of the year. Okay, but there's small rewards within there each week. And if you don't sit back and appreciate that, right, and if I don't address that and tell them to, then it might happen later on. Or there's three things I told the team. I said, look, and they had to understand this. Walked in and said, hey, appreciate it, guys. Appreciate what you've done. You've worked your butts off for this. But understand that teams die from the inside out, not the outside in. Number two, we can get beat. And number three, this time of year, teams either improve or they get worse. You don't stay the same. It's hard to improve. It's hard to get better. All right, it's a choice and a decision everybody has to make. So that was a challenge to the team. But yeah, you're going to hear it. I'm not oblivious to that, right? But still, same thing we said before. It's their decision. It's their choice what they give their full attention to.
Chad?
Going back to the defense, how much do you think some of those big-time stops at Duke will help that unit moving forward? Yeah,
anytime you can really lean on that side of the ball in the season to get stops. And look, some of the stops happened as far back as you could possibly go. Did a great job down in the tight red area on the goal line. And and y'all have heard me say I don't believe in momentum, last week moving to this week, last year to this year. But I do believe when your defense goes out and puts together a game like that where, was dominant in the ability to stop the run. Some situational football did a really good job in, right? But knowing there's still a lot of room for improvement, you can carry that, right? Because it shows progress, it shows improvement throughout the season, right? And it shows the ability and the capability.
Just kind of looking ahead to this Saturday, what stands out, if anything, about Syracuse when you turn on the tape and watch that team?
I mean, a lot of things. I mean, that's a very broad question to ask as far as what stands out about them. I mean, look, this is a good football team. And you can't look at a record to say anything about the team. They've had some misfortune when it came to injuries on both sides of the football. Very key players, and that's a tough situation to be in, right? But you mean, turn on the tape. I mean, I don't need to say anything. Just turn on the film. Watch them play. Right? Watch them compete. They play hard. They are making a commitment to doing certain things. And again, I'm not going to sit here and get into game plan or trade secrets or whatnot, but just turn on the tape. And that's all you have to do. They've got good players. They've been able to overcome some adversity when it comes to injuries, and they continue to play. Credit to Fran for that, for having his team in that position. And the competition they've played has been really good.
Patrick.
Coach Key, talk to us, if you would, speaking of defense, your secondary last week and how well they banded together and covered for Amari's absence, if you would.
Yeah, I mean, next man up. I mean, it's that time of year. The most important, the most valuable commodity you can have right now is player availability. And that's why we work to increase our depth through acquisition in the offseason. And we'll continue to do that. That's a continuous thing that has to be done. And we had guys step up. We still got a lot of work to do there, and a lot of improvement that can be made.
Coach, what has stood out to you watching the tape on Ricky Collins and what he does with their offense?
Yeah, well, I mean, he got thrust into a situation that we always talk about next man up, right? Talk about the guys being ready to go. You're only an ankle away, a helmet away, and sometimes your season, it's for the season, and you have to be prepared. And he's a talent. He's a tremendous talent. The thing that's good, he's got a big O-line in front of him. All right, he's got really good wide receivers. I like the running backs. I do. They've always had good backs there. I think they do a nice job of what they're trying to do as far as establishing the run. Throwing the football is still one of the top teams in the country as far as passing the football. Very pro style in the route concepts and the passing attack. But they're also doing a nice job of not trying to put it all on him. All right, that's the thing that stands out is, all right, to sit back there and put it all on a quarterback who's getting his first start or third start or fifth start, and that it happens, halfway through the season. That's a tough position to be in for him. And I think he's done a really nice job, and the coaching staff's done a nice job with it.
And speaking of kind of having to step in, Jordan Allen was a guy you were excited about in the summer, and since you signed him, and Malik goes down early, he gets a decent amount of playing time in that Duke game. Kind of what have you seen from him, and how, I guess, good was it to see him kind of have some success in there in his limited snaps?
Yeah, that's why we play guys early in the season. That's why we try to play a lot of guys. You never know when those guys are going to be needed to play, and whether it's 3 plays in the game, 8 plays in the game, 15, 20 plays in the game, they're playing in a game, right? They've been on the field at the collegiate level, and that's why you want to get those young guys out there. And it doesn't have to be 350 snaps on the season, right? A collective 80 to 100 snaps on the year by the end of the season. Yeah, they're in a better position, and it helps for next year. And that's why you see us play so many guys. So he was able to step in and really didn't miss a beat, and that's what we expect with him. He can run. He's got great speed, got really good hands, sure route runner. So we're excited about it.
You got, in the second half, you got Tana back from his time away from injuries.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
You got Tana back.
Yeah.
Allowed you to move Harrison over to guard. How did the offense respond to those changes in the second half?
How they respond to it? He played more than the second. It was both the full game. Again, back to playing players. Look, players don't. When you have a group that's played together, it's not like we just go into a game and throw those guys into position. We practice the way we play. We prepare that way. That's something that's planned out on Sunday. How we're going to play guys, how they're going to practice. You don't know who's in front of you if you're a running back or a quarterback or a wide receiver. To the point where if you're doing it the right way, you don't know that a different guy's next to you. Right? They should be seamless, and it is good to have him back. And it's good to be able to continue to have depth on the offensive line.
Coach Key, you talked to us many times about how heady a player Haynes King is, but have you ever seen before in your career a player see coaching preference in the middle of a play like he did?
I can say you're not the first person to ask me that. I've had a lot of really, really good football coaches, retired football coaches that have texted and called and asked the same thing. So, no, I haven't, and none of them had either. People have been alive a lot longer than me. Just to know that is of that situation. Now, that's the second time this year that we've had a play pop in a 4-minute situation, and you don't anticipate it, but you practice those things. And now that's right on the fringe of scoring and not scoring. You could look up whoever you want to look up, whatever you want to say. All right, you still have the 2-minute timeout in front of you. They still had one timeout. There's no guarantee you're going to score or that you can run the clock all the way down to 0. In that situation, you're not able to run the clock to 0. All right, kicking a field goal, what does that do? It's still a 2-score game, right? So this is happening in about 1/3 of the time I've been talking to you right now about it. So you're talking, Nate, a guy that runs, 4.5 that's on the 35-yard line going in. I mean, 3, 2, 1. But for him to know that it's a either or, to look over and to ask, what? And that's a moment right there now. There is no greater feat that I've seen this year, but in probably a long time of football, that shows putting the team over me. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that when he scored that touchdown, it put him in some elite company of some things, records or whatnot. It doesn't matter to Haynes. Haynes is about the team and winning the surest way possible. And I thought that was a really cool moment that, to me personally, is going to live in my head a long time, that a player put the team over himself like that.
Anything else?
That's it. All right. Appreciate y'all. Go Jackets.
I think when he turned his head, it confused the defensive back a little bit. He was chasing, sort of go, where are you going? Where are you looking at?